let's talk to three people who know, represent and get this place moving. Bridget Archer is, of course, the local MP. First person in 30 years to win back-to-back in her seat. Congratulations at the last election. Well done. We've got Julie Hurst here, who's from Cabbage Winery, and Brett Victory, who's with Miners Gold Brewery. All right, put the notes down and have a chat. Politically, we know that it's a tough thing to go to Canberra, but I've got to say, I love that you've made a mark. I love that, remember, I think one of the first national media that you did post-election, we had a chat in Canberra. What have you learned after the experience, and now how important was that experience to get you another 3 years?
Look, I think it's really important, and I think the important part too is to remember, and I think I said to you all those years ago now, that the real work happens here. You know, going to Canberra is a necessary part of that, but if you're not on the ground here listening to what's happening, talking to people about the things that matter to them, you can't do your job when you go to Canberra. And I think that's still important. I think that's a truism, and you know, I love being here representing the people of Bass and the people of Beaconsfield, and you know, taking their ideas to Canberra.
And also, you know, helping small business and medium business in the past couple of years. I mean, the connection to government's been so damn important, but did you feel a sense of pride that there were responses, that there was help, that businesses that otherwise might have disappeared, say something like JobKeeper, meant that we can have the conversations we're having here tonight?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's been so important. And even today I hear of businesses, I mean, it's been amazing to hear of businesses that have opened during COVID as well, and I think Tasmania has really lent itself to that. People that have taken a little bit of a risk and done something different, and they're reaping the rewards of that. And, you know, we have here in these people, we know great local businesses, you know, in the Tamar Valley. Both products will go very well with that wine later,
I was going to say,
chocolate later.
I don't want anyone to think that we've done this whole show just so I can have a great time later tonight, but we're here to make sure that we celebrate everything that's great about the community. Julie, tell us about how long have you been in the industry now, and what is so unique about doing it here?
Well, my husband and I are very new to the industry, so we're actually from different backgrounds, resource sector. So when we decided we wanted to get out of what we do for a job, we thought, okay, we looked at blueberries and all sorts of stuff, but the end product of wine has just won us over. So what we decided to do, as you can imagine... So,
you reverse engineered.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love this. How do we do this for real?
This is what we want. How do we make it work? So look, we were living in Darwin actually at the time, and we decided to make the move down, and we always came back to this area. So we'd fly down from Darwin, and we used to use Beauty Point as our base. So we'd go and have a look at different properties once we did decide what we wanted to do. And it was quite funny that this is where we ended up. So I think it was just meant to be. It's a beautiful area. Local people, fantastic. And when you're saying with COVID, we just had so much support. We didn't open our cellar door until March 2019. So it was a bit like, 12 months down the track and we're closed. But when we did open up again, the support was just fantastic for local people. It was really amazing. Yeah.
Brett, locals, do they love to shop local too? Do they like to support the product?
Absolutely. A lot of people, my friends said to me, why would you open a brewery in Beaconsfield? And let me tell you, the local support has been phenomenal. I was doing home brewing before my wife and I started the brewery, and part of the attraction was to buy this old house next door, plus the location being next door to the museum. So we've got a captive audience, we just got to do the right product. So I got to build the brewery, my wife got to restore the old house, so it was a win-win for both of us.
Wow.
And like Julie, we opened in July 2019, and a lot of debt. And if it wasn't for JobKeeper, I don't know if I'd still be sitting here today.
That's it.
Well, really.
So for both of you, I mean, the booze industry or the wine and the way into it all, obviously there's a lot of competitors. Yeah, Brett, how do you make yourself stand out? Obviously there's the locals that'll back you in, but how do you start to spread it out from Beaconsfield to the rest of the state and the rest of the country?
That's a good question. We're pretty fortunate here that the connectivity across the state between all businesses is phenomenal. I've been to a lot of conferences on the mainland, and when you talk about connectivity in Tasmania, I've even had the Premier in my office. It's just phenomenal. I don't believe it happens anywhere else in the end of the state like Tasmania. It's all business to business.
Because that's that thing, Julie. How important is it that you in someone like Bridget, in someone like your other local MPs, premiers, whatever, that the personal touch is what you come to expect.
Absolutely. And when we opened, we had Christine come to visit us on
Excellent. The mayor cuts the ribbon.
Yes,
Excellent.
absolutely. And she did come and buy some lovely Chardonnay, just a little plug there. But
Get in there, don't
yeah,
worry. All of these people's websites will be up on our Facebook page later to support their business.
And I would also back Julie there too, that the West Hammer Council were fantastic in supporting our business to get it up. It was a massive, it took us 2 years before we put a spade in the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, the results are now.
So it's that thing, Bridge, that personal touch. It's, I mean, obviously as somebody who's very community focused, at times that might feel like 100 people's problems you've got to fix in one day. But what's the sense of satisfaction that it is person-to-person contact, that it's not about government, it's about you being able to help and assist?
And I think it never does feel like 100 people's problems in one day for that reason. Like, it's that connectivity. We're so lucky here in Tasmania, and I can't speak to anywhere else, but in northern Tasmania, the connectedness of the community, the networks that exist, and people do look out for each other, but they also look to how can they support each other. How there's not the level of competition between the businesses. They're looking to see how can we all succeed together. And I think it's been, particularly in, say, the wine sector, beer, spirits, you know, we have a whole ecosystem here in northern Tasmania, you know, a whole wine route and distilleries coming, and it adds to an itinerary. You know, you can come and you can immerse yourself in it rather than, you know, the competition between people. And that becomes the Tasmanian brand. So I think it strengthens each other. They're not seeing each other as competition. So we're all in it together, I think.
Now, we always talk on the show that there's a Paul Murray live bump, right? When we turn up, we want people to go and book hotels. We want people to go and stay at Beauty Point, come along. Well, I want to see big support from our audience for these two businesses. So what's your website? How do people get in touch? And how does my mum order as much as possible by the end of tonight's show?
Okay, wonderful. Just give me your credit card details. We'll be fine. No, so we're Cabbage Tree Hill Wines. And if you go onto Cabbage Tree Hill Wines, then it will come up with...
Excellent.
And all the details of...
And Brett, how do we get you?
Miners Gold Brewery. Just Google that, and we're also on Facebook.
Good stuff.
Yes, Instagram.
There's our cancel clock.
There you go. That's what the parents look like. Support the product. Thank you very much, guys. Round of applause. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you very much.